Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. And today, and tonight rather, we're going to do my insane September TBR. Or rather, pile of possibilities. Stay tuned. Okay everyone, so this month's going to be very busy. I've got reading events, I've got a couple of readathons, I've got some live shows that I'm quite excited about, and I've got a big pile of possibilities. So there's a lot of books to get through. I probably won't get through everything as usual, but I'm going to do the best that I can. And let's start off with what I'm reading right now. I'm still busy with Garbology, which is a short story collection. There are Booktuber stories in there. There's all sorts of stories, and it's all it's all garbage, but fun garbage of all kinds: sex, violence, all sorts of grim stuff. And I've only read a handful, or maybe 7 or 8 stories so far. One that kind of stands out that I really thought was kind of original. I'm not going to say who it's by. You can guess. It was a very interesting story about dangerous hair. So yeah, I'm not going to say anything more about that. I'm enjoying it, and I will give a review when I'm done with it. So that is Garbology. Okay, the next book is difficult to talk about because it is way out of my comfort zone. I would never read this. But yeah, I was roped in. No, that's not correct. I actually volunteered to read this because it's for a good cause, and it's a, let me try and say this properly, it's a romantasy, and it's called Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't even know who the author is. I'm going to put it up there. I'm not going to tell you about the book, except the most important thing is that it is banned in the state of Utah, in all the schools. And so this is a group that's got together to read this book. And I sincerely want to find out why the hell a book like this, aimed at YA, a romantic fantasy, let's say that word again, romantasy, why the hell a book like that would be banned. And you know, it doesn't sit right with me, censorship of any kind. When a small group of people get together and dictate what a much bigger group can and cannot do, in this case read. And I know that I'm going to do a video of it in future, not just this book, but banned books and censorship. And yeah, I'm going to talk about that at a later stage. So that is Court of Thorns and Roses on my horror channel. Okay, let's get back to some horror. We've got a 70s horror club on the go, where every month we talk about a 70s horror novel in publication order, and this month it is The Manito by Graham Masterton. And I read a lot of Graham Masterton. I really enjoy him, and I think this is his debut novel. And let me just tell you what it's about. All these first books are on Kindle, on my Kindle, so I've got a little bit of a blurb from Goodreads, and this is what it has to say. Well, the first part is, I know it's about this growth, and it's a living growth on this woman, on her neck, and it's living and breathing, and it's giving her terrible nightmares. And this is what it says: something terrible is returning from the shadows, to which it has been confined for centuries. A Native American monstrosity, determined to destroy every vestige of the white race that oppressed and preyed upon American Indians. Not very PC, very much a product of its time, but I'm looking forward to the horror. I'm enjoying my 70s horror at the moment. So that is The Manito. Okay, next up we got The Week of Weird, which is a brainchild of both Jason from Jason's Weird Read and Crystal from Fiber Artsy. and this is running from the 15th to the 21st of September, and I've chosen 2 books. As you know by now, I don't follow prompts very properly, but these 2 books do fit into 2 of the 4 prompts. If you want to check out the videos, I'm going to link both the channels below, so you can check them out afterwards. The first book is At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. Now, I really enjoy Lovecraft, and I've never managed to get through this particular book. It's a novella, and I really want to finish it off this month. And it's about an Antarctic expedition, and the discovery of an untold menace in the ruins of a lost civilization. Yeah, it's kind of a chilling read, pun intended. A march through the ice, and yeah, it's going to be good. I just need to finish the damn thing. So. Okay, next up is an author that I read beginning of this year, end of last year, I can't remember, that I absolutely adored her collection of short stories, and that is Hailey Piper. And this book, it's been on my radar for a while, and it's The Worm and His Kings. And let me just tell you what it's about on Goodreads. When you slip through the cracks, no one is there to catch you. Monique learns that the hard way after her girlfriend Donna vanishes without a trace. Donna isn't missing, she's been taken. To save her, Monique must descend deeper than the known underground into a subterranean world of cultists and shadowy creatures. Yeah, this sounds so awesome. And I'm trying to remember what a collection of short stories was called. Something about something of her anatomy. Yeah, it's very interesting, very weird, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, the next book is an interesting one. It's called Pray, Lied, Eve. And it's by Lydia Peaver, who happens to be a booktuber and a really awesome booktuber. And her channel, Typical Books, you need to check it out. And if I know anything about her channel, I know that this book is going to be dark, because she speaks exclusively horror. And guess what? I'm going to be having a chat with her later as well. So that should be fun. But anyway, check out her channel. And this is basically 3 tales of fear, confusion and hopelessness from the author of Nightface, Lydia Peaver. Yeah, and I just want to tell you give you a bit of a teaser for the first story out of the 3. Kaya is haunted by fingerprints marring the basement door. No matter how hard she scrubs, they return day after day. The only things in the cellar are old Halloween decorations, and she double checks every day. So yeah, that sounds very creepy, and yeah, creepy as hell. And I'm looking forward to this collection. I love her channel. She talks about horror, everything up to extreme horror, so I can imagine her books are quite dark. And that is Pray, Lied, Eve. Okay, another one that another genre I don't normally read so much, but this was a recommendation from my dad. Thanks, Dad. And this is Camino Ghosts by John Grisham. Now, I have read some John Grisham novels, and some of them are a lot of fun. And it says here, a giant resort developer is trying to take ownership of a deserted island, and only the last living inhabitant is standing in its way. What the developer doesn't know is that the island has a remarkable history, and locals believe it is cursed, and the past is never the past. So my dad said he read the first little bit of this book, and that there's a lot of horror and hectic horror. So I'm intrigued. So it's on my TBR. Thanks for the rec, Dad. Okay, next is The Pale White by Chad Lutzke. Now this was on my TBR last month, but yeah, most of you know why I didn't get to most of my books last month. And yeah, I'm still trying to read everything by this author. I absolutely love him. I love the way he writes such damaged characters, and he's coming of age, and yeah, he's just absolutely brilliant, and I highly recommend him. And this book very quickly and I have mentioned this before, but it's about after being held against their will in a house used for sex trafficking. 3 girls plan their escape. But does life outside the house offer the freedom they'd envisioned? Or is it too late? The scars running too deep. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm just going to keep reading him. They've all been 5 stars except for 1 4-star. So he's a great author. So yeah, that is The Pale White by Chad Lutsky. Okay, and my final Kindle book is With Teeth by Brian Keane. At the beginning of last year, I read a zombie apocalypse book by this author called The Rising. And it is the most original zombie apocalypse book that I've ever read. The take was completely unique and I absolutely loved it. And let's just see what this book is about. It's about a group of middle-aged friends and they're going to these woods in the forest. And they're trying to find a place to set up a criminal enterprise because they need money. And things go horribly wrong. What does it say here? But now night is falling. And with the darkness comes something else. Something fast. Something ferocious. Something with teeth. Okay, next up we got a lovely gift from my wife. I've mentioned it in a haul recently. And that is The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. Now, a lot of booktubers rave about this. In fact, some of my friends mentioned that this is a masterpiece. We shall see. Apparently it's very twisty. There's all sorts of twists and turns in a horror. Let me just tell you about the back very quickly. It's a story of a murderer, a stolen child, revenge. This is a story of Ted, who lives with his young daughter and his cat in an ordinary house at the end of an ordinary street. All these things are true, and yet some of them are lies. An unspeakable secret binds a family together, and when a new neighbor moves in next door, the truth may destroy them all, because there's something buried in the dark forest at the end of Needless Street. But it's not what you think. And I mean, just some of the reviews at the back here. Truly captivating. A chilling masterpiece. Spectacular. Unmissable. Gloriously complex. Yeah, that's the one thing I've heard about this book, is that it's very, very complex. But yeah, I don't mind a few twists and turns. So I'm going to read The Last House on Needless Street. Oh, and there was another reading event I forgot to mention. And I'm sorry, I can't even remember the organisers now, but everyone's talking about it. I will link the names below. And that's Shorty September. Is to read short books. And once again, I don't follow prompts. But I am reading a lot of short books this month, which is great. And here's another one. The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. Now, I read Dolly as a buddy read earlier this year. And I was not impressed at all. However, this one is a lot more famous, made into a movie with The Hobbit here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping that it's a huge step up from Dolly. So let me just read a bit of the back once again. Arthur Kipps, a junior solicitor, is summoned to attend the funeral of Mrs. Alice Drablow, gotta love the names, the sole inhabitant of Eel Marsh home. Unaware of the tragic secrets which lie hidden behind the shuttered windows. The house stands at the end of a causeway, wreathed in fog and mystery. But it is not until Arthur glimpses a wasted young woman, dressed all in black, at the funeral that a creeping sense of unease begins to take hold. A feeling deepened by the reluctance of the locals to speak of the woman in black and her terrible purposes. Okay, yeah, my wife's seen the movie, I haven't, and I haven't read the book either. And it's nice and short, so I'll definitely get to this one. And finally, a book that most of you, or many of you, were actually hoping that I would review last month, and it's just so big, I didn't get to it. Well, yeah, it's 4 stories, but that is You Like It Darker by Stephen King, and I'm determined to do my best. It's close to 500 pages, not that bad. and apparently it's very good. It reads very easy, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not actually going to tell you much about it because I think I've already mentioned it, but yeah, I have heard some people criticize the fact that it's not dark enough, but I'll be the judge of that. So yeah, this month I really want to read You Like It Darker. Okay everyone, so that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoy my content, give me a big thumbs up and like and subscribe. And yeah, have you read any of those books? That's everything I'm planning to read for the month of September. And of course, October is going to be spooky. But yeah, would you prioritize some of these books? Have you read them? Let me know. Have a conversation with me down in the space below. But yeah, take care of yourselves. Until next time, keep those pages turning, and cheers.